Before withdrawing EPFO savings early, make sure you know this story. It is around 10:30 at night. A salaried person is looking at the EPF passbook on his mobile. Money that was gradually deducted from years of salary and deposited has now become a decent amount. There is no emergency at home, retirement is still far away, but one thought is circling in his mind. Why not withdraw this money now and put it to some other use? This is where the fear begins. Because PF is not just a balance, it is the future shield of a salaried person. And this is where curiosity is born. Is it easy to withdraw money early from EPFO? And if it is withdrawn by showing the wrong reason, can one really have to face recovery, penalty and tax? This is the question in the minds of millions of salaried employees today. The money deposited in a PF account feels like one's own because it includes both the employee's contribution and the employer's contribution. But the truth is that this money cannot be withdrawn completely at one's own wish, at any time and for any reason. The Employees Provident Fund Scheme 1952 ties this movement of money to rules. The basic purpose of EPFO is to provide retirement security, not to break this corpus for every small or big personal desire. That is why EPFO has clearly indicated that withdrawal should be made only for those needs that are valid under the scheme. First of all, it is necessary to understand that early withdrawal can be of two types. One is final settlement, which means withdrawing a large part of the account or the full amount, which is generally linked to retirement, long unemployment, or some special circumstances. The second is partial withdrawal or advance, in which the member withdraws not the full amount but only a part according to need. This is the place where the greatest confusion happens, because people think that advance means free use of their savings, whereas according to EPFO, even an advance is purpose-based. That means the reason must be correct, eligibility must be fulfilled, and the amount must also be within the rule. Under EPFO rules, advance is allowed for some specific needs, such as medical treatment, buying or building a house, home loan repayment, marriage, children's education, and some special circumstances. For different purposes, the service period, admissible amount and withdrawal frequency may also be different. In old official advance guidelines and claim forms, it is clearly visible that different conditions apply for housing, illness, marriage, education, and other notified grounds. So before withdrawing PF, the most important task is not how much balance is there, but rather does the reason for which the money is needed fall under EPFO's approved reasons or not. This is where the biggest mistake happens. Many people think that since the system is online and the declaration has to be filled in by oneself, money can be withdrawn by entering any reason. But from the point of view of the rule, this is a very risky approach. In a public warning, EPFO clearly said that if PF is withdrawn for the wrong reason, or if it is withdrawn by showing an approved reason but later used for some other purpose, recovery can happen. This does not mean that EPFO will just pass the claim and forget it. The scheme places responsibility on the member that the withdrawn amount must be used for the same work for which it was sanctioned. Suppose a member took an advance in the name of house construction. If it is later found that the money was not used for construction but went into some other expense, then it can be considered misuse. According to the relevant provision of the EPF scheme, in the case of misuse, the amount can be recovered with penal interest. Not only that, the member may also be stopped from making new withdrawals for some time. That means a wrong decision taken for short-term relief can also harm the member in a future emergency. Another important point is that not every withdrawal becomes a matter of penalty, but a wrong purpose or false claim can become a serious matter. According to EPFO rules, if a withdrawal is found to have been misused, then further withdrawal can be stopped for 3 years from the sanction date or until full recovery is made, whichever is later. Many people look at PF like bank savings, whereas in reality, it is a regulated retirement corpus. That is why EPFO's tone again and again remains the same. That PF should not be seen as lifestyle spending, luxury buying, or a casual cash source. Now the question arises, when is final withdrawal possible? For a long time, in public EPFO FAQs, it was written that in the case of resignation, one has to wait 2 months for PF withdrawal. But in 2025, EPFO's Central Board of Trustees approved a proposal in which, for unemployment-based final settlement, the waiting period was proposed to be increased from 2 months to 12 months. That is why at this time members need to be extra careful, because some public FAQs and old documents may still reflect the old rule, while later policy communications point toward a stricter framework. The practical meaning is that before filing a claim, it is very important to check the member portal and the latest circular position. In the case of unemployment, there is one more important provision. Through para 68HH, EPFO had provided that a member who is not in employment for 1 month can withdraw up to 75% of the PF balance and the account membership can continue. The logic of this was that the person should not need to break the entire retirement saving and yet should get liquidity in difficult times. Because of this thinking, the PF system is not only a withdraw everything or nothing arrangement, but in some situations it also gives limited relief. But this facility too is rule-based, not open-ended. Many people understand the tax aspect only at the end, whereas they should understand it in the beginning. If a member withdraws PF before completing 5 years of continuous service, tax consequences can arise. According to EPFO's TDS instructions and income tax guidance, in service of less than 5 years, TDS may apply on the basis of certain thresholds and documentation. Under income tax treatment, the employer contribution, the interest on it, and the interest on the employee contribution can bring taxable implications if the withdrawal does not fulfill the qualifying conditions. So merely thinking, this is my own money, why should tax apply, is not the right approach. The role of PAN becomes very important here. In EPFO forms and guidance, it is clearly shown that in cases of less than 5 years of service, PAN and where applicable, Form 15G/1 5H may be required. In the old TDS flowchart too, it was shown that if withdrawal is above the threshold and service is less than 5 years, then on the basis of the status of PAN and Form 15G/1 5H, TDS deduction can happen differently. That means before filing a PF claim, it is very important that KYC is complete, PAN is linked, bank details are correct, and service history is clear. Often people suffer loss not because of the rule, but because of documentation mistakes. There is also an interesting change worth noticing here. EPFO has increased automation to speed up claim processing. According to the official press release of 2025, auto settlement of advance claims was expanded to purposes such as illness, education, marriage and housing, and a large number of claims started getting settled through auto mode. This sounds very easy to hear, but it does not mean that scrutiny has ended. The system has become faster, the rules have not ended. A claim getting settled quickly and a claim being legally justified are two different things. Many people understand this difference only later. Now just think of the situation of that employee who kept depositing money in PF for years. He feels that retirement is still far away, children's fees will somehow be managed, marriage is also later, health emergency is also not there right now. So why not withdraw cash from PF and fulfill some personal desire? From the outside, it looks harmless. But the real value of PF is understood only by the one who faces job loss, medical emergency, or late age insecurity. Then one realizes that the PF balance is not just an amount, but a disciplined safety fund growing over time. Breaking it without a genuine reason is many times like snatching money away from your future self. And this is the emotional center of this whole story. In India, retirement planning often becomes the last priority. People talk about LIC, mutual funds, gold, property. But they either ignore PF or treat it like an emergency wallet. Whereas the EPFO structure was created precisely so that during working life, a disciplined corpus is built and after retirement a basic financial cushion is available. If this cushion is repeatedly broken for casual reasons, then compounding, continuity and long-term security all become weak. So the practical rule is very simple. If the reason is genuine, is covered under the rule, eligibility matches, KYC is proper, and the amount is justified, then withdrawal is a lawful facility. But if the reason is artificial, the documents or declaration are misleading, or the money is going to be diverted to some other use, then that same facility can become a future risk. In EPFO's language, advance is not a right, but a regulated benefit. It is very important to understand this difference because filling an online form is easy, but the impact of a wrong declaration can remain for a long time. As of today, before withdrawing PF, any member should honestly ask himself 4 questions. First, does my need actually fall under EPFO's notified purpose? Second, is my service period sufficient for that category? Third, will there be any impact of tax or TDS after withdrawal? And fourth, will I truly use this money for the same purpose in whose name I am making the claim? If there is no honest clarity in these 4 questions, then withdrawing in a hurry is not wisdom, it is haste. The story returns to the same place where we began. That same person at night is still looking at the mobile screen. The PF balance is still in front of him. The only difference is that now he is seeing it in not as money that can be withdrawn, but as security worth protecting. He has now understood that the best use of PF is the one that keeps a balance between the rule, the need, and future security. Because FO's message is clear. Use PF for the right need. Otherwise, short-term relief can turn into long-term trouble. And many times, financial wisdom does not mean withdrawing the money, but leaving it untouched until the right time.
This video has taught you something new. Or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.